This is instant ramen. Cheap, quick, and easy to make. Instant ramen is eaten by millions every day.
A product that was created by a failed businessman would spark a new industry and feed billions of people around the world. But how did a Taiwanese man create what has been said is Japan's most important invention?
This story couldn't have taken place if it wasn't for a short-lived nation, the Republic of Formosa, a small island off the eastern side of China.
The Republic of Formosa declared its independence on May 23rd, 1895. Since the island had already been seceded to Japan, Western powers were not in a position to recognize the Republic of Formosa as a legitimate government.
Only 4 months later, on October 21st, the Japanese army gained control of the Republic of Formosa, or more commonly known, Taiwan. Momofuku Ando was born March 5th, 1910, in Japanese-controlled Taiwan, where he was raised by his grandparents. He moved to Osaka, Japan in 1933, attending school and studied economics.
Still in his 20s, Ando followed his grandparents' business ventures, creating his own textile business while still attending school.
The Empire of Japan continued its expedition for more control, joining the Axis power in World War II, but would ultimately lose the war.
Finally, to the point of surrender, after some 44 months of the most grueling warfare. A number of Japan's largest cities lay in ruins.
This left Japan in an extreme economic crash, as most funds were directed towards the war effort. After World War II, the US and Japanese officials were unable to allocate the food supplies efficiently, which led to extreme hunger crisis, limiting the average adult to 1,042 calories per day.
The story goes that Momofuku saw the destruction in post-war Osaka and started to think of an idea that could effectively feed all the people in need.
After going to jail for tax evasion and the collapse of the bank he managed, Ando secluded himself to a shed in his backyard for a year, spending almost every day and night. Looking back to the scarcities of the food rations, Ando came up with the idea of flash frying noodles and adding a flavoring packet for the broth. And instant ramen was born. His third business venture of distributing salt focus changed to this new invention, becoming Nissin Foods. Instant ramen became an immediate success. It was first considered a luxury item, costing 35 yen, which was more expensive than the traditional ramen at the time, costing nearly 6 times more. But with time and competition, the price would steadily go down. 13 years later, the company would introduce Ando's next invention. This time, it was a simple container that would again change the world. Cup noodles were released in 1971 after Ando visited America on a business trip. Marketing efforts furthered instant noodles' popularity, and the company continued to grow. Ando opted to license his processing idea rather than patent it because he believed competition would help innovation and growth. At 95 years old, Momofuku would see his last invention complete in the form of noodles in space. In 2018, people worldwide consumed over 103 billion servings of instant noodles, and is now realized in full circle of Ando's original thought for a product that could help people in need.
Instant noodles may now be seen as a cheap snack and a staple food for college students, but its roots have much more history and impact.
In the book, Make the Most Out of a Bad Situation, about Ando's story, the following is written. In life, there's no such thing as being too late. Even from 50 or 60 years old, you can still start something new.